everybody, and welcome along to Console Tier 1, the finale of Season 19. We are here for what I am almost certain is going to be an absolute incredible race around the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. I am joined, none other than the incredible LCR Leopard for the finale of Season 19. Leopard, this is going to be a good one.
Yes, indeed it is. Of course, last week, is he here? No, he's not here. Renz did wrap up the title, so that makes perfect sense why he's not here. He's decided, you know what, early break. Which does make it, on the whole, a bit of a free-for-all. Everyone can race freely. There's nothing really to lose. You know, we know what these races are like. You know, once the big prize is gone, there's not a lot else you can really play for. I mean, it's not truly the case, but realistically, that's what every driver cares about. They care about winning the championship, and once that's off the table, kind of pressure almost kind of lifts a little. You can kind of relax, and you can drive freely for the rest of the season. In this case, just this one remaining round of the season here in Interlagos. Of course, there will be still positions to play for. Obviously, there is a battle for second in the standings going on at the moment. I'm not entirely sure what the field of play in that one is and what the situation that is, but I'm sure we'll get to it eventually. But yeah, it should be good racing. Interlagos always brings up good racing, whether there's a title battle or not on the line. And yeah, should be. I'm sure these guys will send off Season 19 in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, Joe Murphy versus Gabor as the battle for P2. I suppose you could. Well, no, Cameron Dowds as well, but I'm looking at it and he's got I don't think he's got a qualifying ban, but he's doing what only can assume is a Lewis Hamilton last to first or Max Verstappen last to first at Sao Paulo. So I'm not sure what Cameron Dowds is doing. Gabor is out on a set of intermediates, and I really hate it when they go out on intermediate tyres on a giant track. I don't know why it bugs me so much, but there you go. From now on, I think every racing console Tier 1 going forward, drivers are going to do that just to remind me. But yeah, everyone else really isn't on a set lap time, or they've invalidated, so they're going to go back into the pits. And, this is the end of a triple header of real short, fast-paced, impactful circuits, isn't it? It's going to be interesting to see.
Yes, for sure. Of course, before this, we're at the streets of Canada, and then, the very fast-paced Austrian. Boy, was it fast-paced last week, wasn't it, at the Red Bull Ring? That was a race and a half we watched last Friday. Of course, Interlagos, it's again short, fast-paced, but almost it's different in its own right. Canada's there's kind of like a lot of left-rights. The walls are very close. Austria, I guess Austria's a bit similar. Just kind of the profiling of the kind of second half of the lap is a little bit different. Because obviously, you get, a couple of long straights, and then you kind of get into almost what is the infield. Only difference is Austria is a lot more kind of, let's say, flowing a bit more, more medium to fast-paced corners, whereas these, corners at Interlagos are a bit more slow-paced. Got to slow the car down a bit more kind of, a few more traction zones here and there. Before, obviously, then they, rejoin back onto, what is one of the longest kind of, well, it's not really a straight, is it? But it's a huge, flat out section, which creates probably the biggest overtaking opportunity down into one in the race.
Yeah, I will apologise now. I believe it's actually, I mentioned to you, Leopard, before. I thought it was old gunfire going on outside, but I believe it's fireworks. It's not the Chinese New Year just yet, is it? Is that what's going on? I'm not 100% sure, but it is going off outside, literally, the house that is attached to my back garden. So, no idea. I didn't think if it is Chinese New Year, maybe they celebrate Chinese New Year. Who knows? But I do apologise if you hear that coming through. I don't know why they're setting off fireworks. Basically, Epic Vale is on a lap time. He is currently P5, not turn 5. He was actually, well, he is now. He did set purple in sector 1, but it looks like he's slowed down through Ferradura, so not ideal. Thank you for messing my commentary up there. Spicer, the NLR driver, through the Senna S. Can you do anything through Curva de Sol? Are you going to mess it up? He hasn't. Let's hope he goes for a good fast lap this time round.
Yep, indeed, up towards turn 4 we go, just under a 10th down, and well, there you go, the lap's gone. So that's we're 2 for 2 for commentators' curses already. There, we're starting to go on here in the commentary box. Spicer invalidates his lap, invalidates turn 4 to Cedar Delago, and yeah, that lap has gone for the Aston Martin. Interesting to note, Silo is continuing his good form from last week. Of course, he had a cracking race last week before it all went a little bit wrong. We're caught in a little bit of an incident with Renz, kind of, well, a racing incident. As Ryan goes to the top of the timing screens, first man into the 1 minute 6.5 bracket is the Aston Martin. But quickly back onto Silo. He was incredible to watch, wasn't he, last week? You know, instinctive, you know, not afraid to make a move. Was, you know, ridiculously quick over 1 lap. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do here in Interlagos, and if he so chooses to, what he can do next season.
Yeah, Silo, I mean, was it at the beginning of the season? He came in kind of out of nowhere as well. I believe I commentated on him in another series as well, and he was, you know, out of nowhere, it felt like. I think he was tier 5 the season before. So it was really, really odd. A driver just to click, and I've just got Ryder Dahl out of the exit of John Zhao there. He's really back end really messed up. Is he going to fly into the pits? No, he's going to finish the lap time. And what is he going to set? It's a 1. I mean, considering he messed that lap up, that is a very, very good lap time from Ryder Dahl there. Zinedine, are you 7 seconds down? You're definitely not setting another lap time. Alcin, you're half a second down. So I don't think they're going to be on a lap. Justin, are you on a lap? My friend, you're on a set of mediums, so this is unlikely to be competitive.
Yeah, indeed. I'm not. It's probably the first time I've seen the mediums in a qualifying session in ages. Right? I mean, of course. I mean, let's be honest. This is probably by no means strategical or anything. This is just kind of getting your eye in sort of thing, or just faffing about because it's the final race of the season. I mean, he actually outqualifies his teammate Joe Murphy by only a second on the intermediates. What is going on at Kick Sauber? I have absolutely no idea.
Have they got the Ferrari strategists?
I don't think they've got the Ferrari strategists. I think they're just drunk. I think it's the only way to describe it. The after season party has started a little bit early. They've got their dates wrong or the timing's wrong, and they just went, you know, forget this. We'll start at noon, boys. And well, apparently that is the result. Is what's going on. I'm sure eventually they'll sober up and throw on a set of soft compound tires and get amongst the, you know, at least the front 4 rows, probably 3 rows of the grid. At least Joe Murphy. But yeah, not entirely sure what's going on down there at Kick Sauber.
Entertaining nonetheless. They always give us something to talk about. Thank you, BRT, Team BRT there. But yeah, Spicer I think is on a lap time now. He's just coming through Ferradura 10, 6, 7 and 8. And you know what? It's been I did the commentary on PC Tier 2 on Monday night, and you know, seeing some of the real great drivers out there. Well, PC drive, and some of these guys will be looking to knock on that door for PC. We see it constantly. Kai Pearsons, Harvey Cohen. I can't even talk about the you know, esports guys because they've already made it. They're out and they're done. They've done the time, and WOR were anything lower than tier 1 on anything because they are that much quicker now. Spicer goes into P8, but it is nice to see, and I think we had really weird weather. It was wet to start with, but it was better to be on dry tyres.
Sure.
And then, because it wasn't wet enough, and then it got really heavily wet, like to the stage of actually for about 10 laps, the wets were the best tyre to be on. And I don't think I've ever said that in commentary in F1 24. But it wasn't long enough to be able to be. You might as well have just stayed out on inters, and then it ended up being dry at the end. It was absolutely incredible to commentate over, and hopefully we're going to get just the same here tonight. Well,
I think if I remember correctly, last season here in Interlagos was was a bit of a mixed weather conditions. I think we were waiting for as Ryan extended it. Has he improved for like 1,000th there?
I think so.
Good on him. That's good going. If you're NLR Ryan, Epic Vale's about to start, or is on a lap himself, and he's got a few hundreds through Sector 1 as he approaches Decido. I cannot pronounce that sometimes. It's a bit of a tongue twister, at least for me anyway. Decido de Largo. There we go. Someone got it. Anyway, Epic Vale into the middle sector now, a little bit wide into turn 8, and yeah, understandably, calls it quits for that lap. Don't get in the way of Ryan if you can help it. I mean, oh, that's true. Collisions are off. What am I on about? But yeah, Joe Murphy still on intermediates. Is he joining Gabor and Camera Downs on last to first? Maybe that's what's going on down at Kicksauber.
Might very well be. It's very, very odd to see. Brando, I think, is on the lap time. We've just seen the two Ferrari. Well, I just saw Hazara weave angrily through the ghosted car of TTM Alcin because he wasn't getting out of the way up. I'm not even going to say Turn 4's name, but he was very angry.
Yeah.
Let's say because it wasn't well, very teammately, let's say. But something that I do find with Sao Paulo, I know we've got 5 minutes left of the qualifying session remaining, so do let us know in the chat who you think is going to take the pole. It'd be great to have your voice in there. But sometimes it's better to have a second install lap at this track.
Yeah, I've seen that one before. Yeah, I haven't played this game at all. I don't think I've driven a single lap on it. As the lesson goes up onto the front 3 rows of the grid. That's a good lap from the Ferrari. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I guess the, for lack of a better term, like the gimmicks, I guess, of this game. What makes that, a good idea around a track like Sao Paulo. Whether it's, getting the tires up to a bit more temperature, or maybe for whatever reason around here, it's their second or third laps are quickest. They just take a bit of a while to get into operating window, as Epic Vale does manage to displace NLR Ryan at the top of the timing screen, so he moves on to provisional pole, does the Williams. Good lap there from Epic Vale.
And that is done on a second lap because he invalidated that first one.
Or I guess the other thing, and this is something we on a few tracks we did on all the way back on F1 2018 when we had the hyper softs or the ultra softs which just weren't usable at all. In race trim, so you had to go for the middle compound tire to qualify on. I mean, we all of us very quickly figured it out that, well, if we just it turned into one-shot quali basically. But not quite, because we kind of decided, well, okay, I mean, we are on slightly harder compound tires. They're not going to wear as much. We can give ourselves that safety buffer of a second lap, and sometimes on that second lap you would go a little bit quicker, maybe because for whatever reason, maybe you've backed off a little bit, or you've left a little bit on the table to make sure you've got it in clean your first go, and then you can go for a push on the second, or maybe the tires just take a bit longer. I think the other theory I had was because maybe just the tires don't wear as much, and it is possible that their peak performance life is a bit longer, and it you can get a second lap out of them if you so wish. Depends on the track. I do remember all the way back on F1 2018 there was some tracks where it was more beneficial to kind of risk it on a one-shot quali, because there was just a little bit more free time on the table that way. But on other tracks it was definitely the way to go was to do that second lap, or maybe throw in a recharge lap in between. Anyway, enough about 6 or 7 years ago. We've got a minute and a half left of this final qualifying session here of season 19 here in Interlagos. Who is gonna take the final pole position of the season?
Well, I've just seen both Quantum and Brando make mistakes on their lap, and they've pulled out. They've got just enough time to get back around and sort the lap out, but it's leaving it very, very late now. I won't go into the spiel that I usually do, which is is it? Are they doing this on purpose? You know, do they want that pressure at the end of the of qualifying to be able to succeed? I won't go down that route, but BRT Silo is just coming through Magillo now with turn 11 into Zhangzhou into turn 12, and it's looking pretty poor because he's 2.5 seconds down. So a lot of drivers are.
I sorry, he didn't get that the center resters very well, so he backed out of it, and now he's gonna go again. So he's about to start his final flying lap, as is Ryan, as is Epic Veil.
Goodness me, everyone is Silo is invalidated already. So Ryan, who has been looking like he could get pole in this session, he's a little bit down on Epic Veil, who's just coming around the circuit now. He's got 20 seconds to get to the start-finish line. He should be fine. He's just coming through turn 14 and 15 now. But let's see what Ryan can do. See if they can get themselves on pole position for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Well, Ryan, 13,000 up. I noticed Brando was a couple hundreds up himself as they exited Sector 1 to start Sector 2. So, all eyes on Ryan. Let's see what Epic Veil can do through the first sector split. He's got about 13,000 in his back pocket, so it's very, very tight between 3 of the top 4. Silo's out. This has invalidated his lap. He will not be on pole position. He'll be 3rd at best. Depending on what happens further behind, he could be at risk of being demoted even further. Alessin got a 10th on his back pocket through Sector 2, so Alessin could get amongst the pole fight here for the Prancing Horse, for the Scuderia, for the Tifosi. What's it going to be up to the line for TTM? Alessin is P3 on the grid. Ryan's lap has gone. Brando takes pole position momentarily for the time being. What's Epic Veil got left in response? He's got a 10th through Sector 2, and now we climb the hill for the final time. Here comes Epic Veil. Full throttle, DRS open, overtake on for the Williams. Can he claim pole position here at Interlagos? No, he can't. He's lost time through Youngstown. He's lost time up the hill. And Brando looks like he has snuck pole position right at the very end. Ryderdal can only manage P10. And that is that. McLaren and Brando takes the final pole position of the season.
It's TF10 from, what is that? TF10, ET8 and NLR with a TTM just behind. 4 different esports teams there, and a numerous amount of different teams in there as well. But let's go down the order quickly. It's Brando from Epic Veil, Ryan, Alson, Silo, Ryan, who had a terrible time last time out, I seem to believe. Zidane in 7th, 8th to BJ Andrea, 9th is to Quantum, and rounding out the top 10. Then we had Spicer, Quartz, Kobe, Hazara, Bell, oh goodness me, and then Justin, Joe Murphy, Gabor, Cameron, and then Alpha Gully at the bottom. Wow, my brain just didn't want to work at those drivers. Yeah, let's move swiftly on.
They're not the easy to pronounce. I'll give you that, Gareth.
Where's my beer? It's the final race of the season. Give me a beer.
That's Alba.
Yeah, Kix Alba's got it, haven't they?
Head on down there.
So, as we well know, this driver is not here tonight, but it is not Cameron Downs. Oh my goodness, it's Rens Thomason, who is. I should really get that beer, shouldn't I? It's Rens Thomason as the champion.
I've already had it.
I should have done. I should have done before this, shouldn't I? Ren's probably has, but we've had some amazing champions this season throughout PC Tier 2. You had Jan Halliday, and then Max van der Geest had amazing console Tier 2 as well, and Leroy Brown had a pretty epic PC Tier.
Name of the past.
PC Tier, goodness me, 3. But yeah, no, we're all here for Rens Thomason and his absolute stellar season, only once finishing outside the podium, and that was back in round 3 at Singapore.
And last week. Or was there penalties?
There was penalties, and he ended up with P3.
Ah, who got penalties then? Let's have a look.
Drivers.
Yes, that is yeah. Who would it have been? Did Epic Veil sneak a podium on track?
Yes, I think he did.
Has to be, right? It's one of the Williams, because they're the only ones with time penalties.
Yeah, Has to
Look at
be.
this
And
good
it
football.
was pretty close at the end, wasn't it? So Epic Vale probably would have fallen down the order a little bit. But hopefully we'll get the lobby back up and running now. Thank you very much, Andy, who's just messaged in the chat saying about finishing tier 2 chat with 600th of a second between the finishing first and second car. That is an epic way to finish the season in
There you
console tier 2. So now that one's done, the championship is over and done with. That's for us, but now it's a little bit of with these drivers starting at the back, it's a little bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those things, it's all wrapped up, and you go into the last race, and it's almost becomes I don't want to say free for all, but you can tell the drivers are having a bit more of a relaxed mindset about things. It's a bit more of a fun race, this one. One to enjoy. There's no kind of heavy pressure, none of that, pressure, on you, to perform, to deliver, and you can kind of just go out, relax, have a bit of fun, and kind of almost remember why, in a sense, why, you do race, why we all fell in love with racing. A lot of it is, that wheel-to-wheel combat and, racing drivers wheel-to-wheel, and I've done it a few times myself, kind of when it's, there's nothing to play for, and you kind of just think to yourself, you know what, let's just have a bit of fun. And I'm sure, like Cameron Dowds, Joe Murphy, Gabor and whatnot, will go and do just that, provide a bit of entertainment. Whether one ends up in the fence or not, it remains to be seen. I wouldn't be shocked if at least one of them ends up in the fence. But let's hope not. So yeah, should be a fun one.
Yeah, I know Andy's thrown it in the chat as well. Kind of helps people being a bit more relaxed. It adds a little bit of a better, less stress, I guess, for them, and it's a bit of a better racing. Yeah. We might see that this evening as well. So far this season, it's been absolutely full throttle. We've had arguments in the console tier 1 chat throughout the season between certain drivers, and maybe tonight they will realise, yes, you know what, not only is it just a game, because that's a horrible thing to say, really, because there's a lot.
Yeah.
We wouldn't do what we do if it was just a game, but they will look at it and go, let's have a little bit of fun. It's going to be interesting, especially with those 5 very quick drivers down the back as well. So we've got Justin and Joe Murphy, Cameron Dowds and Gabor. All 3 of them are capable of winning races. A lot of these drivers are capable of winning, but those ones are ones maybe towards the top end of those winnings. If that
to look out for, and we're gonna expect them to at the absolute minimum break into the top 10 somewhere, and that is the absolute minimum. We're probably expecting at least 1 or 2 of them to probably end up in the top 5, maybe have a podium, maybe even go and win the whole thing. Who knows? Yeah, and it's in theory, it is a nice relaxed atmosphere, but who knows? Maybe some on the flip side of the coin, maybe some drivers will think, what, season 20 starts now. Let's get the gloves off right now. Starting means to go on, even if the season hasn't even started yet, and we're still in the previous season. If that makes any sense. And maybe not to that full extent, but some drivers may approach it that way, especially those that have qualified towards the front, thinking, what, let's end the season strong, and give ourselves a good base to work with, or to build on, for season 20, next season. That's very very plausible and a very acceptable mindset to have going into a race like this. And just depends. I mean, I think it's interesting, when you look at the mentalities, not just of, the drivers here, but also just competitors, just in general, in any sport, and kind of, what kind of mindset, gets the best out of them. Some, pretty, kind of, let's say maybe stoic and kind of, non-reactive to anything. Maybe some drivers, need to be, all pumped up and really up for it, or maybe you just get those that just decide to maybe work best when they can find a way to take the pressure off and be relaxed, and take this kind of scenario that some of the drivers have today into every race. It's interesting to see what mentalities or what mental approaches these drivers take towards not just races like tonight, but just any race in general or any championship they're going for.
You definitely will. We'll have to wait and see. We are just setting up the final positions. So while that happens, we are just going to take a quick, listen from our sponsors.
Yep. Nope. There you go. Yeah, we hope. Oh, they stopped again. So yeah. Yes? No. Brando. Brando now. I think it's Epic Vale. Can they? Oh dear. Oh dear. Well,
there you have it.
I'm glad. We did, I don't think we said anything too bad, did we?
I don't think so. Maybe.
Good.
Hey, we've got to get views somehow, and if that's going to get views,
that's true.
That's the way for it. Tactical viewership. Joseph knows about tactical viewership. Because we spoke briefly about it the other way on World. I mean, I don't find any issues with the stream on World, but people mention that there's problems with the stream on World. So I mentioned that it was tactical viewerships. Joseph says, reminds me of when I announced that the advert, I was going to the toilet. I mean, yeah.
What? Sorry?
Maybe that's, on, I don't know if I can say it on YouTube, but on Twitch, when you have those voice things when someone subs, maybe someone should have clipped that for, I don't know, for Joseph when he decided to take off on a massive stream. I'm not sure. Yeah, let's go back to the race. And
you can tell it's the last race of the season. There's nothing to play for. Can you tell this is a bit of a free-for-all?
Obviously, the race is going to start very, very shortly. We've got some incredible drivers at the back. Let us know who you think is going to take victory tonight. I will just double-check the positional order. It is Brando from Epic Vale with Ryan in third. And then the back of the grid, you were right with that. At the back of the grid, we've got Alpha Gully, then Cameron Dowds, Gabor, BRT Murphy, Joe Murphy, and then Justin. So, there we go. Let us know who you think is going to take victory tonight. Leopard, who's your money for?
Well, here's the thing. I was thinking about it when I saw Brando was up. Then, it was plausible that could go and take pole position. I just feel like it'd be quite a statistic, considering, with all due respect, I mean, sure he's been up there to an extent in some races, but he's not really looked like winning a race since he won the opener in Shanghai. And I just think it'd be incredibly funny, I guess, if he just went and won the opener and the finale, without then looking like he was going to win a race realistically for anything in between. So for that reason alone, Brando high for me.
You know what? Why not? He looked incredible last season as well. I think it was last season anyway. And for him, he's kind of dropped down this season. It's not been the same Brando that I've known to commentate over. But Who knows? We will wait and see. Console Tier 1 is just about to kick off live here. I say just about to. We're on 5 lights here. And away we go, really early doors on the lights, and it looks like a really good start from Brando. I think Epic Vale is trying to go through at the same time, but it's not going to happen. BRT Silo and Alcin battling side by side, but I think that's going to be Silo that gets the move, but Alcin's got the inside line as they keep on going down through into the Reta Aposta, and it looks like Alcin has the position, and I think Ryan is trying to get involved as well.
Yep, indeed he is. Yes, Silo got the move done on the lesson. Rain was looking to get involved as well, but nothing doing for the Red Bull just yet. Is there anything happening further back? Gabor's up to 14th. There is a massive chunk of front wing missing somewhere. Not sure where that was from. More contact as we head to the middle sector. We have Gabor and Cameron up to 14th and 15th respectively. The two Kicksabers haven't had the start they'd have wanted, but Brando's away safely at the front of the field in the McLaren Epic Vale, slowing in nicely just behind Ryan as well in third. Silo, well, I'm almost certain is going to look to try and harry the back of these three ASAP, just like he did at the Red Bull Ring last week. Here we go. Then yeah, he's already, you can see he's right tucked up in behind NLR Ryan. He's got the overtake on. He did have the overtake on. Did BRT Silo. But he's going to have to wait a little bit longer. In fact, Ryan's looking to try and make the move on Epic Vale down into turn 1. But Silo switches to the inside, catches Ryan now, but catches him off guard. Can he get it done? No, he can't. Ryan has enough drive around the outside of 1 to then keep the inside for turn 2. And he keeps hold of that P3 for the time being. Is Epic Vale thinking about a move on Brando? Surely will be a bit early, but DRS obviously already enabled. That's only going to create even more carnage.
I've got a feeling that these top 4 possibly shouldn't have squabbled as much as they did, because they had an opportunity to make it, well, a little bit of a break. Because Alcin and Ryan were battling away, but now it's all come back together, and I think it's front wing again going flying, but I just can't see which car it's come from, because everyone looks like they've got end plates. Anyway, we won't care about that too much at the moment, but Brando is slightly getting a little bit of an advantage at the front there, but it will all go to nothing down the start-finish straight.
Sorry, just to mention, Quantum's just made a brilliant move around the outside of Pico de Pato on PGR Andrea. He's gapping to P9. Right around the outside he went, did the Alpine, and yeah, he's up to P9. He's now split the two Haas cars. Cameron Dowds made a move on Gabor as well, up the hill. As we start lap 3, Joe Murphy sets the fast lap of the Grand Prix on his hard compound tyres. Everybody on the hards except BRT Justin, who I believe has already had to make a pit stop. So that this final race really has not gone to plan for the Kicksabro Justin. Cameron Dowds now looking to the outside of Quartz into turn number 4, and he gets the move done. A little bit as a yellow flag further back, it is BRT Justin who spun again, and Silo amongst all that has got the move done on NLR Ryan.
Ryan's going to have to go back up him. Oh, it's very, very close. Thought there was going to be a little bit of contact there. There is a bit of contact behind between the two TTM cars there. Alcin and Ryan touching just slightly. Thankfully, this isn't a contact model like iRacing, or otherwise if it was me, I would have been around. Like I was on the MX-5s earlier. But Epic Vale, yeah, I'll talk about it.
Oh, safety car. Goodness me, that's a huge shot for Epic Vale. What's happened there? Not Epic Vale, Alpha Gully. That's into Pico de Pato, that's happened.
I don't think we're going to get Justin's view. Well, the car I think is going to be disappeared before.
Gone. Yeah.
No one's...
Pit stops already. Pit stops already.
I was going to say, surely no one's going to pit, but I suppose at this point it is medium. I'm surprised other people haven't taken that.
Front wing for Silo. Well, that's interesting. Front wing change for BRT Silo, so he's going to drop. Well, he's amongst Spicer and Hazara now, so he's got a lot of work to do. And yeah, medium. If it is an option, it is probably worth it. If you've got the tyres, if you have 2 fresh sets of medium still at your disposal, it is worth a go. So yeah, and it's called soft tyres as well. Ryderdal, Joe Murphy, opting for a set of softs. It'll be interesting to see if they come straight back in for a set of hards to go to the end of the Grand Prix. But yeah, interesting. Few drivers there, biting the bullet, making the most of the free pit stop, and it's a switch in strategy potentially. It might just be a case of getting your other tyre out of the way before then going straight back onto the other one to finish the Grand Prix. But I wouldn't be shocked. I don't mind the idea of a few drivers going keeping on these softer rubber, whether it be the medium or the soft, and making a different strategy work from here. We'll have to find out. We'll find out in a few seconds' time, I reckon, because we're just coming past pit entry. Rydal back in. Spicer stays out. Silo stays out. Hazara back in. Joe Murphy stays out. Interesting. Joe Murphy wants to make the soft work.
It's possible.
Interesting.
Possible. It depends on the strategy right now. And Silo had to really pit. If he had front wing damage, that was the only play for him. Get that repaired under a safety car. You don't lose time at all. And you've made your pit stop. And you're on a now classed as a faster set of tyres. Onto the hards again for Rydal and Azara. Rydal looks like he's gone onto a fresh set of hards.
So that's going to be to the end potentially.
And that is a very good, smart play from Rydal. No pit stops now for him. And they might very well be one to watch at the end of this. But you just got to hope, they've got to hope that they don't get caught in a break in the train.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're back there, there's always that risk of having that train broken up. Whilst we do have two huge DRS straights to keep you there, there is also a very technical middle sector which can easily break things up if you're not careful. If there's too much squabbling going on, or if someone has dropped their pace by a little bit too much. I'll be interested to see what Joe Murphy does with those soft tyres. If it's going to be a soft medium from here on. For Joe Murphy. I'm interested to see what he decides to do from there. But yeah, Rydal will be one to watch. Joe Murphy will be one to watch on this safety car restart. The safety car is in this lap, so it's a very late notice safety car restart, and Brando is going to have to get him going.
He is indeed, and he's going to leave it late. He's gone now, and that looks like a very good restart from Zidane. As they head down into turn one, it already got Ryan under braking, and that is a very, very good restart there from Zidane. Quantum all out, all over the back, and there's someone in the wall, and I don't know who that is. Is that the other McLaren? Are we going to see another safety car out? I'm not sure. Corby's caught involved in that as well, and there is another safety car. And up the inside goes Cameron Dowds on Andrea, but unfortunately, the safety car was called before that.
Whoa! What's going on here? Right, Cameron Dowds does eventually move into P7. After all that, it just looked like there was a little bit of. No, I guess the only way to describe it was remember Vettel and Hamilton in Baku 2017, that sort of thing. Obviously, no damage, I don't think, as a result of it, but yeah. Again, I don't think it was anywhere near as malicious as that, but of that ilk, if that makes any sense. Or I guess the only instance that kind of comes to mind when I saw it at the very least. But either way, they've sorted it out. Cameron Downs up to P7. Now I'll be interested to see what those that, well, what everyone's going to do. Those that did pay under the previous safety car and those that stayed out in the previous safety car. Brando stays out. Epic Vale stays out. They're all opting to stay out. Cameron Downs opting to.
Oh dear.
Do that.
That's me out of the session as well.
Oh. Right. Hold on a minute. Let's try and get back in here.
There's a lot of people leaving by the looks of things. I'm not 100% sure what has happened. I don't know if it's because I've left or what.
Yes, you have lagged out. So that'll be on your end.
Which is very odd.
Hold on. Yeah, it's one of the ways you can tell if you've lagged out is if everyone else starts leaving. Yeah, it means one of two things: either you've lagged out or it's a restart of some sort. But from what I can see, I think it's just you. So
cool. That'd be handy to get me back in. Thankfully, it's under safety car.
Yeah, there's your invite.
Thank you very much. That was very odd. We will be back in the lobby very shortly, hopefully. And I've just got to remember that my Xbox is actually a part of the wireless network, not the wired network. So wireless can cause a little bit of issues. Hopefully we are connecting. Hopefully I can get myself back in the lobby. Yeah, I don't trust Codemasters. It's as simple as that, unfortunately.
Life lesson.
I've been burnt too many times, and I still hold a grudge. We should be on track now. You can get rid of my lovely, lovely face, or horrendous face. And well, we're still under safety car. It's like nothing's happened.
There you go. There you go. He's back in. We got Justin and Corby on a fresh set of softs, by the way. Well, Justin's staying out. I don't know what Corby's going to do. Staying out is what he's going to do. So I'm trying to figure out what the plan is here for everybody. I still don't know. There's a few here. It's like, what's the plan? What are you guys cooking up here? There's a few more I think have gone back onto the hards. To go to the end. But of course you have those that haven't even come in at all, so they still will have to pit. I'm baffled. I'm getting a little baffled here. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and I'm not succeeding.
Yeah, there's a couple of different options on board, isn't there? It's not. Yeah, it's really odd to see. Brando, I would have thought that time around maybe some of the others would have gone, you know what, let's pit now and go through it, but the top 10 still haven't pitted. I honestly think as long as there's not another safety car, Ryder Dahl is definitely the one in for it. Safety car this time around. Let's see when Brando decides to do his restart. Obviously, it was a late safety car call in last time. So he's probably got, a little bit more time to decide. I think he's still going to do it late, but let's look at it from Epic Vale's eyes. And Senol, no, I'm not drunk, but I wish I was. Epic Vale now, well, it looks like a very good start from Epic Vale through that, and Ryan's trying to do what Rayan did last time around and get a really good start from the safety car, but he hasn't. There's going to be contact through it. There's a Alpine through there as well.
Oh, hello.
Kicking off, and another incident with about 5 wide coming through the centre S.
Here's Gabor and Joe Murphy, battle for P2 in the standings, hotting up here. As here we go then, on the run to turn 4, Joe Murphy has the outside line, but he's going to get boxed in a little bit, but he turns it in a little. Gabor is trying to make use of those soft compound tyres, but he's just boxed in. He's going to force it to fit. He holds P2 for the time being. Ryder stuffs it underneath Gabor. Does he or no? Gabor's managed to hold on for P11, but Joe Murphy forcing it to fit a little through sector 1 into sector 2, but he's managed to keep hold of P10. Now he's going to look towards getting into P9. There you go, making good use of those soft compound tyres, easy as you like. He's going to be safety in these opening few laps of safety car restart. Cameron Downs up to P6, by the way, into Young South.
Yeah, lovely out round the outside of Mugello. Cameron Downs on the Zinedine, sorry. It's very, very good. I'm just thinking Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah, same.
DRS now open, wide open for these guys to use. Justin is the fastest man on the track. That time will keep on going down and down and down. Cameron Dowds through the centre S. We'll keep on board with them because... Actually, we won't. Let's go on board with Epic Vale for the lead of this race. He's gone to the inside down the Retro Aposta and has got the lead of the race finally on lap 10 after 2 safety cars.
Yep, he's finally got it done, has the Williams. One of those that looked like he could potentially claim pole, but in the end, didn't quite work out for him. He had the time going to Young Sauber. It all went wrong in that last sector, but he's finally got the lead this Grand Prix. Does the Williams driver, looking for his second victory of the season as Epic Vale, obviously claimed his last one all the way back in Las Vegas in what was a mental finish to that Grand Prix, where he displaces Brando at the top of the field here, and he leads the way. Lap 10 of 36, Reigns up to P3, Ryan in P4, Quan to P5, and of course Cameron Dowds already up to P6, and he's going to be looking to charge through those remaining 5 cars and potentially claim another victory, but that's going to be easier said than done, especially with those that have already pitted. Cameron Dowds, fast lap of the Grand Prix, and he moves down into 2. Oh, that's Cameron Dowds! Goodness me, has he got 2 into 1? He thought about it. He's certainly got 1 of them. He's got Quantum. He nearly took Ryan as well, accidentally. That's an incredible attempt from Cameron. And how he's done it, he's done that cleanly as well. Brando back up to lead the Grand Prix. I'm staggered how that didn't look as reckless as it potentially could have looked. But he's done it cleanly. He's up to P5. It's a Scotsman. Goodness me, Joe Murphy struggling a little bit to get past, make any more kind of more inroads, although Spicer is on a set of medium tyres, so that might explain why, but he's going to try and, oh, no, that might have been caught by the, you know, when you get, when the safety car comes out, or when it comes in, but the icon still stays at the top left.
Yeah, it's still...
I've been mugged off by that.
It's still there, and this is why I don't trust Codemasters. Cameron Dowds is still fighting along in P5. He's definitely the driver to watch out for. And I think Quantum is going to be a driver that is, well, going to feel a little mugged off from his move as we see Epic Vale take the lead of the Grand Prix again. Does Quantum decide to go for the inside? He doesn't, but just behind Spicer and is that Zinad? Yeah, he's always been pushed off on the Senna S, and that is very, very elbows out work there from the RB driver, and Spicer is desperately trying to find a way through, and there's contact between them, and Joe Murphy is just going to go, thank you very much, and well, clip the back end, but Joe is just, he's so quick on those softs.
Goodness me. Just planted the overtake and just stuffed underneath it. Well, there you go. Well, then Joe Murphy. That's a good move in the end.
He's basically just shown Spicer how to do it. And Spicer's now going up the inside of turn 10. And it is very finally. Oh, God. Justin and Ryder Dahl. No, Justin and Silo, maybe? Gabble? It was Gabble, yeah.
Goodness, it's all kicked. So, what is going on? The train has well and truly broken down by the way, because this battle for P11, P12, it's utter chaos, like 3 or 4 wide as we go down the pit straight. On lap 12, well, now lap 13 and 36. Andrea's down to P15. We got quarters up the inside of both Ferraris. What is happening here in Console Tier 1? You just don't know where to look. Justin, and by the way, had an incredible safety car restart, but that's all been undone. He's back down to P16. Gabor's down to 17th, and, well, an angry weave from the Hungarians tells you all you need to know. Epic Vale's back up into the Grand Prix, when Brad have been exchanging positions for the past couple of laps. Joe Murphy's still in P7. He's looking to try and make inroads on Quantum and Co. Goodness me, don't know where to look, do you?
No, there's constant battling throughout as they're trying to find a way through the McLaren just ahead of him. And I think it's going to take a little bit more than that. Epic Vale's tried to pull away. Oh, the back end really has stepped out on the Red Bull there. And Ryan nearly caught the end of them. And this could be real pressure for Graham.
Gosh. Yeah, it could be. Rain covers the inside. He knows the trouble he's in. Ryan's looking to try and make the move. Cameron Dowd's also looking to join the party. He's going to have the outside line. And then Ryan's going to try and drive around the outside of the Red Bull as well. No, he'll have to sell for just Ryan, and he does just that. Cameron Dowd's up to B4 around the outside of NLR Ryan through turns 1 and 2. But Ryan is going to look to try and make the move once again. He wants that position back into 4, but nothing doing. Cameron just too quick down the straight, too late on the brakes for the Aston Martin's liking. He's got a little bit of a run on the exit though, but again, nothing doing for NLR Ryan, and Cameron Downs finally does have that move done. Oh, hello Quantum, that's a lunge. That's a huge lunge down into turn 8. The outside for 9, but again, can't make it work, can't complete the move. Can't get his nose enough alongside to make anything meaningful happen other than just, well, sticking your nose in there and becoming a nuisance.
Sometimes that isn't a bad thing though, is it? Throwing your nose in somewhere just to remind a driver you're there.
No, and also, one thing I used to, well, let's go on to that in a bit because this is going to be pandemonium, as always, down this main pit straight. Here comes Brando, here comes Ray, and here comes Cameron Downs. Well, basically here comes everybody. Cameron Downs to the inside of Rain, into turn 1, lay on the brakes from the Scotsman. Rain turns in a little bit, there's more contact. This time into turns 1 and 2. Cameron Downs gets moved on. Rain maybe turning in a bit. Oh, Joe Murphy's gone as well. No one can keep it clean, it seems like. Joe Murphy's in the wall, he's got front wing damage, and that is that for Joe Murphy's season. He's out of the Brazilian Grand Prix, and Spicer also further down the field. What is going on here in Interlagos? We said they might race freely, we might get some good racing. It's gone the other way. They're racing too freely. There's not enough care in the driver's racecraft. And there's crashes and contact, you know, any time you go on board with a driver.
This is real. Questionable at the best, unfortunately. Probably just like my commentary earlier on, but we'll wait and see. Epic Vale still trying to find a way past Brando again. These two will continue battling through, but now they have a different player, so to speak, entering the fray, and that is Cameron Dowds. Here comes Epic Vale. Throw into turn 1, and Cameron Dowds having a look at Brando far back and making Brando think whether he wants to take his usual line. This could be, well, good for Epic Vale as they come down the Retro Aposta then. Brando will look to surely stay behind for the time being, but he's got to worry about the car behind.
Yeah, I think Cameron was trying to force Brando to make a move on Epic Vale, but just couldn't quite force his hand enough. Credit to Brando, by the way. He gave Cameron room down the inside into 1, where he potentially could argue could have just turned in and, you know, caused contact. Well, I mean, not caused contact, but, you know, could have easily turned in and wiped the nose of Cameron, because Cameron definitely was not, you know, enough alongside to, you know, stake a claim to anything, but Brando gave him room regardless. So kudos to Brando, and these two are still, you know, in this battle for race victory. As a result, Cameron Downs, though, that's not going to help him. That's a huge snap of oversteer on the exit of Youngstown. TTM Ray is going to say thank you very much. He's got the inside down the pit straight. It'll be the inside into turn 1, and here comes the Red Bull and the Mercedes side by side down to turn 1. Who's going to be there on the brakes? Ray's going to be trying to be there on the brakes. He slipped Brando though, and that's going to maybe allow Cameron Downs to go back up the inside, but it's not. Ghosting, and that was Brando to use the better line and keep hold of P2 for the time being. And again, more contact, but this time they keep the wheels facing the right direction. And Cameron slots to P3, Reigns keeps P4, and Ryan is also looking to try and make moves. Quantum is there in P6 as well, always looking to try and get amongst these. Are we going to see any another move in the middle sector into turn 8? No, I think it's going to be way too far back. I say that, he thought about it. He thought about a lunge into turn 8, but in the end he was just a little bit too far back. And also, another thing that will be worth noting, look who's in P7. And look who doesn't have to pit again.
He is looking pretty at the moment, isn't he? That is looking very, very a solid position. But as we've seen, we're at just about halfway through this race. But this half of the race has been absolutely chaotic. And it's the only way to describe it. So anything can happen and it could all turn again. And we could see the likes of Gabor, Justin and Spicer take the lead. But there is some pit stops. Oh, an Epic Vale. That is not what you need when you're going into the pit stop. Is getting a 10-second penalty, and that has cost massive. Cameron Downs now has to make this work. It is that point in the race where, well, undercuts will be crucial.
Yeah, it's the pit stop phases. You know, big in laps or big out laps needed. If you're Epic Vale and Brando, you need a big out lap. If you're Cameron or Ryan, or even Ryan and Quantum, you need a big out lap to make your overcut underwork, depending on which one you're going for. But yeah, Epic Vale and Brando, they've pulled the trigger at the end of lap 17 to chuck on a set of medium compound tyres for the rest of this Grand Prix. It'll be interesting to see who follows them in, or if, you know, maybe see, you know, like Cameron did last week, extend a little bit further into this Grand Prix. It'll be interesting to see what they go for. We'll find out in a few seconds time. Cameron Downs obviously now leading this Grand Prix on road, on the track. And yeah, is he going to come in? Are we going to see the Scotsman in? He said he wish he came in a little bit sooner last week, and he's going to use that bit of knowledge he gained, and he's into the pit lane. Cameron Downs into the pit lane from the lead. Rain, Ryan, Quantum all follow him in, as does Zinedine, as does literally everyone, everyone else that I think has to make a stop, because Hazara, LS and Silo have already made their pit stops. It's only Gabor that has not decided to pull the plug on it, and he's gone out another lap. Where's Epic Vale? Where is Brando? Epic Vale, well clear of everybody, by the way. How's that happen? I mean, I know he's went to the pit lane a bit, but that's a huge gap he's got.
Yeah, 2 seconds nearly, isn't it? That's absolutely, well, he needs as much of a gap as possible with a 10-second penalty to their name. Ryder Dahl then has a 3.7 second gap over Silo. Silo, who started this race so strong, but under the first safety car decided to go into the pits and then get caught up in all the incidents through it all. The only missing link out of all that is, like you quite rightly mentioned, is Gabor, who's yet to pit, and, you know, maybe a little bit of no man's land.
Maybe I think if you Gabor, you're kind of just thinking, well, I might just wait for another safety car here potentially. No, that might be what he's gonna go and do, because he might just decide to just run as many laps as he possibly can and just try and see what he can get. As obviously that pit stop phase has spread things out a little. Obviously Epic Vale does have the gap. He has broken the DRS as a result of the pit stop phase. Brando nearly threatening to break Cameron Dow's, but nothing doing. And yet Cameron sawing in just behind. So I guess there is still a bit of a train for what is, we think at this moment in time, P2. At least out, those that have pitted, or pitted later. Now it's just a case of right then, guys, go and reel in those that haven't or have already pitted. More like, likes of Silo, a lesson. Obviously the big one, the big player in all this is Ryderdal, who we believe is almost certainly going to the end of this Grand Prix. So what is the gap to leader? Let's have a look, shall we? If I can actually pick the right thing out. There is yellows. Spicer's gone, and that is horrible timing if you're Ryderdal.
Yeah, absolutely horrendous. I wonder if anyone else is just gonna. It might, whether they've got a spare set of mediums, we don't know, but whether they will go, you know what, let's discard and go again. I don't think they will, but no.
Ryderdal's just beaten the safety car.
Are they going to be far enough ahead though to be able? I know the pit stops are quicker, but is it? Oh no, that should be enough time, I think.
It's gonna be interesting. I mean, obviously Silo again will be the bigger player here. So the race takes another twist in this Brazilian Grand Prix with a third full safety car. Obviously Spicer crashed out. What has happened here?
What is?
We're speechless. The game's broken. The safety car has stopped.
What on earth is going on?
The Aston Martin Vantage has seemingly broken down. Maybe. I have no idea what has happened.
How to break commentators 101.
We have been completely broken here. Ryderdal, now as a result, is well, there's gonna be an even freer pit stop. So Ryderdal's gonna have a comfortable lead in the end. He's gonna be comfortably out in front and absolutely no threat. So Ryderdal's gonna lead this race. It'll be interesting what happens now. Yeah, the safety car does go. What on earth?
It must be because Ryderdal managed to get past, and it was meant the safety car was going to let everyone back through to go back round, but it's not very good mechanics, is it?
Another day in the life of F1 24, eh?
Oh.
I have no idea. Well, it's mixed up big time, because obviously Cameron has dropped a few positions as a result. Rayan is now the man in second. Obviously Ryderdal was then, as a result, under absolutely no pressure from behind.
Well,
What has got that safety car, by the way? He did get it. So he's loving life. Is there any... I think Zinedine had to come in again, didn't he? So I guess he was the only unlucky victim of all that. They got wing damage.
Lap 23.
Justin overtakes Epic Vale. Epic Vale's down to 13th.
Lap 23 of 36. They're about...
This has been a confusing one.
2/3 of the race through. We're on our third safety car. We have had multiple questionable game-related glitches, and also questionable driving standards tonight. But we've still got 15 drivers.
Yeah. I think we've said it, everyone's kind of, racing a bit more freer, and it's almost like everyone's, gone there. There won't be a huge break, gone there, kind of, yeah, or, whatever this equivalent is, a little bit too early. Just mentally checked out a little bit too early from this season, and it's shown, and it seems like the game's checked out a little bit as well.
Which doesn't bode well for us for season 20.
No. Safety car in this lap, either way. Rydal, I think we could argue deservedly, is in front, and will deservedly control the pace and lead us into this final third of this Brazilian Grand Prix. I don't think, barring any more safety cars, this should be a straight sprint to the finish line. As Rydal drops the hammer, and we are back underway. We're back to green flag racing after a very confusing safety car period. Rydal untouched down turn 1, he'll be unchallenged, and he'll lead the way on a much fresher set of medium tyres to those around him. So can he check out? We'll have to wait and see. Is there more battling going on further back? Let's find out, as I've still got my gaps on leader. Let's get them back onto interval. It doesn't look like anyone's been able to make any meaningful moves just yet. Have you seen anything, Gareth?
No, everything seems a little bit, safer, as Justin picks up a 10-second penalty for getting a position in corner cutting. So that's a very odd one at this stage. There's nearly free wide with Cameron Dowds trying to get through as well. There's contact between Quantum and Ryan. Quantum's keeping it up the inside. Cameron is then going to try and go through on Ryan as well. They're now going to go side by side through Mugello and into Zhang Zhao. And I think Cameron might have to concede the position, but he's not going to. A little bit of back end slide from the Aston Martin of Ryan, and that is going to allow Ryan to have the grip purposes much better than the Aston. And there we have it. Ryan down 2 places in all this.
Yeah, Cameron Dowds, brave as ever was the young Scotsman. And he's gone and got the move done through Megulo and around the outside of Young Sao as well. Kept his nose in, didn't back out, wasn't afraid. Good stuff from the Scotsman, and he's up to P5 once again as he looks to try and reclaim what he lost through that safety car debacle a few laps ago. Well, I can't look past Rydal at the moment, just purely of those fresher tyres that he has at his disposal. Does the Haas? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens further back. Alessin also trying to get involved with NLR Ryan. He's now got the outside through the middle sector. He can't quite keep it, and he almost gets boxed in a little. Clips the grass, locks the rears. That allows Silo to go up the inside. Gabor's also going to try and get involved with the other Ferrari of Hazara. They're side by side through Megulo and into Young Sao. Hazara tries to brake later, but Gabor has the line, has the exit, has the drive, and he's up to P9 himself. Next on his hit list will be the other Ferrari of Alessin. What's going on further up towards the front? We've got Rain thinking about a move to the inside. That's a huge launch from Quantum to the inside into turn 1. There's a little bit of contact, a little bit of argy-bargy, but nowhere near as bad as we have seen. And Quantum trying to go for almost P1, ends up down to P5. Cameron Downs up to P4 amongst all that as well. Brando now thinking about a move potentially into 4. No, I'm not entirely sure how not more of that has changed between the top 5, but at the end of the day, Quantum trying to make the move. In the end, he lost out to Cameron Downs as a result. So yeah, another place for Cameron Dowds. Goodness me, that was a lunch from Quantum.
It was indeed, and quick maths, right now, it looks like, I would say Cameron Dowds becomes P2 in the championship.
Oh my
as
gosh.
Things stands. Quantum really collecting the back. I'm just trying to think on points-wise. It's 12 points. No, he won't. It's only 10 points he gets for P4. Is that correct?
12.
12. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Brain. I'm not sure.
Gabor's up to P8 now.
Cameron would then go and claim P2 because of countback on race wins. My goodness me. It's that close. The 2 Ferraris in the background going side by side as well. Aston and Hazara. They're so close through the centre S. These 2 have had incidents in qualifying, let alone the race, and they're still going. And Justin picks up another 10-second penalty. That's Very
He's
unlike
a lot better
Justin.
this rate. How many penalties does he have?
A lot.
32. Good going. Impressive. Contact further up in front, by the way. Silo and Quantum are doing battle. And Silo, he'll be another man to watch. Coming through the field, you know, he wasn't afraid to get his elbows. Oh, say that, he's in the back of Brando. That'll be a penalty almost certainly for the Mercedes. A little bit too eager on the brakes. It just did take into consideration the concertina effect, and he's gone straight to the back of McLaren of Brando, and he's put him into a half spin. That, I'm certain, if Brando wants it to be, will be a penalty. It's a shame to see. It's an innocent mistake. You know, nothing malicious about it, just a misjudgment. And Silo was up to P4, but I think we can be fairly certain that'll be a penalty coming the way of the Mercedes. Shame for Brando as well. He was looking very solid up there in the top 5. What's going further up in front? Quantum and Ryan doing battle. 2 Ferraris doing battle. Brando's going to look to try and make his way back through the field as well. Here comes Ryan once again on Quantum. Looks to the outside of 3 down this down the retro poster. Into turn 4 we go once again. Ryan to the outside of Quantum. Can he keep it in there? Oh, Quantum moves him onto the curve. Moves him out of road. But Ryan keeps those in there. Balls up the inside to P5. Where has he come from? That's a stunning move from the Hungarian. A great switchback. Ryan's still trying to get involved, but can't quite make it work. Epic Vale's picked up a 3-second penalty to add to his 10-second pit lane speeding penalty. But Gabor is making inroads of his own. He's up to P5. He fancies a piece of this podium and maybe a piece of the top step of the podium. We'll have to wait and see, but Gabor's on a charge.
Yeah, some great driving throughout at the moment. Silo looking to go at his on-track teammate of Cameron Dowds. Let's see how they go down the start-finish straight. These 4 starting to pull away a little bit from Gabor after, well, oh, Silo's up the inside of Cameron Dowds. That's very close between the two of them. A little bit of contact very late on the brakes from Silo, but not enough. And that allows a little bit of breathing room for Rayan in P2. And Ryderdal has just not been hassled in this second stint.
No, he hasn't. He's driven very well. Again, he's got those just couple lap fresher tyres, especially compared to Rayan and Cameron Dowds, which through this middle sector might be all he needs. Just to extend the gap enough through this middle sector to then not be under any pressure. Down the pit straight as they climb the hill. So you can see he's just eking out that gap. He'll get slightly fresher tyres. He'll get a slightly better exit out of Pico de Pato. More grip through Megulo. Again, he'll get a better drive out of Youngstown. Probably most important corner on the circuit. There you go. Look at the drive he's got there. Look at that drive. Just pulling car lengths after car lengths is Ryderdal, and just like that, he'll be under absolute no threat down to 1 unless Rain really wants to plant the ERS, which I think he's actually doing. It's a Red Bull. He doesn't he fancy it? No, he doesn't. Cameron to the inside, allows Silo to the outside, to the inside into 2. Job done. Silo up to P3, and now Gabor has also joined the party. He fancies a bit of the Scotsman. He fancies P2 in the standings. Does Gabor in the Alpine, and it looks like we have our quintet for the finale here at Interlagos. It's a 5-way battle for victory. And we've got, 5 or 6 laps remaining. It's lap 30 of 36. Who is going to be victorious out of these 5?
Oh, it's anyone game, especially with how this has gone so far. And, you know what? I'm trying to do quick maths here, and I think it's going to be 3 drivers all on 100 points.
Oh my. Zinedine has crashed or got into an incident in the middle sector again. Another middle sector crash. And now what do? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Do you come in for a fresh set of softs or not? Ryderdal, the man who has to make the decision, decides to stay out. Cameron Dowds decides, you know what, I fancy a set of the soft compound tyres. As does Ryan. As does near enough everybody else behind him. Cameron Dowds pulls the trigger, everyone else follows in behind, and just like that, we're going to have most of the field on a fresh set of soft compound tyres for the rest of the Grand Prix. And the safety will be in at the end of lap 32? So we'll have 33, 34, 35, 4 laps for them to get into a race winning position.
Yeah, especially if you're a rider, Dale, you're damned if you do, if you're
mediums?
damned if you don't. But yeah, Brando, maybe a mistake there by Brando, but he's definitely going to be competitive at the end of the race. But I think everyone's going to be competitive at the end of the race.
Yeah.
What I was going to
Sorry, go
say before the safety car came out was with Gabor P5, Cameron Dowd's P4, that meant Joe Murphy, Cameron and Gabor were all on 100 points in second place. That would have been a wonderful way to finish this season, and it would have gone Cameron's way because of race victories. But that's not going to happen. So let's not worry about that. Let's go on to other things.
Yeah, indeed. Cameron Dowds will be the leader of this kind of soft tyre train. He's going to have a huge party in those remaining, I believe, 4 laps of this Brazilian Grand Prix of season 19. He's got to try and get past 5 cars in the space of 4 laps. He'll have 10 laps fresher tyres than anybody, and he's got a step softer tyre than anybody ahead of him. That is what's at stake here. You'd probably, unless he gets caught into contact, you might make him favour from here on out, just by how, you know, how much quicker a fresher tyre is, let alone a fresher, softer tyre. He's going to be making moves in, you know, in the middle sector in particular. You'd think he could get caught up. He might, if, you know, he's not able to make the moves in the middle sector, he could potentially get caught, you know, down the straights. Just by, you know, the concertina effects, and just might get boxed in a little bit too much. That could happen. But Cameron Dowds' racecraft is, you know, some of the best, you know, in this tier. I'd be quite shocked if he isn't able, you know, to make, you know, good use of those fresher, softer compound tyres and get to the front before the end of this Grand Prix.
4 safety cars, 32 laps. We've still got some racing to go here in the finale of Console Tier 1. So much is in the balance for second place in this championship. Joe Murphy still has a chance of claiming that, even though he is out of this race, and I wonder if he is going to be ruining his luck tonight so far. Cameron Dowds in P6 needs to get himself up into P4 or higher. Gabor needs to, at the moment, stay where he is, but with Cameron Dowds being so quick and on those fresher tyres, anything is possible. Ryder Dahl, who's pulled a strategy out of the absolute magician box, has, well, got a chance of taking victory in the finale. Let's see when he decides to go. Everyone else is slow, and trying to go alongside him is Rayan, and I don't think that's allowed under the Max Verstappen
that's a great
rule,
restart.
But that is Ryder Dahl gone, and look at Silo trying to get the move already, up, down, round the outside. And there's someone up the inside. I think that's Epic Vale. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a little bit of chaos into the centre S as we stay on board. But that is Cameron Dowds going around the outside of Gabor into P5, and he's got Epic Vale there as well. These two are going to continue side by side, I think. No, they're not. Cameron Dowds is there into P5, and there's front wing from someone.
It could have been Cameron Dowds. He went for a lunge into 4. Not entirely sure why. It's not really a corner you can really go for a lunge. Is turn 4. He's looking for it again in turn 8. That's going to allow Gabor maybe the outside line. Is it? No. But he's going to try and drive around the outside maybe of turn 9. It's Cameron. He's always got the run. He stuffs up the inside into Bingo de Pato. He's going to have to be aggressive. It's all pass or B pass. And he has made the move. So Cameron is up to P4. But I'm not sure if there is a front wing end play missing, because he took a hefty whack on the back of the Williams of Epic Vale into 4. But right now, that's not doing him any harm whatsoever. Ryan and Hazar and co not able to make any further moves with those soft tyres. Cameron the only one to make moves. Got past Epic Vale and Gabor. Lap 34 and 36, 3 laps to go. Silo to the inside of Rain into 1. A little bit more contact. He's trying to force it to fit, but can't make it work. Doing side by side maybe once again. Who can get the run? And a turn 3. Cameron Downs going to look for moves. Is he going to get boxed in? Maybe, just maybe. He switches to the inside of turn number 4, and he's going to move up the inside of the Red Bull, and he's, yeah, easy as that. Job done for Cameron Downs. And now, can he make the move on his teammate of Silo? No, he gets boxed in once again, does the Mercedes, but he's getting ever closer to a 3rd race victory of the season.
Yeah, it's all tight, and twisty at the moment in this middle sector. Silo just, well, around a second behind Ryder Dahl, who is leading this Grand Prix, who has got to be wishing these two squabble a little bit more. We're just about to enter the penultimate lap of the race, and Ryder Dahl hasn't led most of it, but his strategy is put in there. Silo, Cameron Dowds are fighting away, and already Cameron's got the grip, he's got the pace, he's got everything that he needs to get past his teammate. In the background, I think that's Epic Fail, and Ryan swapping position. Gabble is out of this race. He is going to stay behind Joe Murphy in the championship. But is it capable for Cameron Dowds to win this one? He's on the penultimate lap as Ryan now getting past Ryan.
Yep, into turn 5, right up the inside of Rain. Job done. The second of the soft compound tyre runners. He's looking for a potential podium to end this season. It's the Aston Martin, and he's got a lap and a half to make that reality. And he's got the tyres, he's got the tools at his disposal. Hazara also making the move on Rain. I think it's quite clear that you probably should have, maybe, just maybe, decided come into the pit lane unless you are Ryder Dahl, potentially. But let's see what he can do. Let's see how much he can defend. He's got a lot of battery at his disposal. Cameron Dowds also has a lot of battery at his disposal. This can be a straight horsepower shootout up the hill. Here we go then. We climb the hill for the penultimate time. Here into Lagos. DRS open for the penultimate time, also down this straight. Here into Lagos. Here we go. Cameron Dowds. Mirror signal maneuver. Goes to Scotsman, and he's up the inside. He's done it before the braking zone into one. And we start the final lap here into Lagos. We start the final lap of the season, and Cameron Dowds looks like he could be unchallenged down into turn number 4. Surely, if you're right now, you've got to think about a move, but he's not got the grip, he's not got the confidence, and just like that, the race win has been snatched away from him, and Cameron Dowds are going to set off into the distance and surely claim his 3rd race victory of the season.
We'll have to wait and see. Mistakes can happen. You can't, well, it's not over until it's over, pretty much. But Ryder Dahl looks like he's making a few mistakes now. They're just creeping into his game, and he's just lost a little bit of grip, maybe, but I don't know what happened, but he's just not as confident as he was when he was leading. Can Silo do anything? No, I don't think they can. Justin will pick up a penalty for his trouble, further penalty for his trouble, but he started towards the back of the grid. But Cameron Dowds takes victory at the finale here, with Ryder Dahl in 2nd and Silo rounding out the podium positions. But Cameron Dowds, where it wasn't pretty in any way, shape or form, but he's managed to take victory tonight.
Indeed he has. He's kept a cool head, or as calm a head as he possibly can in a race like this. He's got the job done, and yet again, Cameron Dowds ends the season strong. We've seen that, we saw it last season, didn't we? When he picked up a couple of wins towards the end of the season. He's done it again. You just have to think, what if he could put a season together? Because that's really all it is. And there's some of it has been luck. For Cameron Dowds, there's been some races where you just have to say, yeah, luck isn't on my side. But there has been a few instances for Cameron where there is certainly points he's gone and lost off his own accord. They didn't need to. And I think, if he can, that's got to be an area you've got to look at to improve for next season. It's just making sure you don't drop silly points from your own doing. If you can, avoid that, he'll put himself in a position to really give the title a good go.
Let's go down the order quickly of the ones that finished. It was Cameron Dowds from Ryder Dahl and Silo on the podiums. Then we had Ryan, Hazara, Brando, Rayan, Alcin, Quantum and Epic Fail, the drivers on the points scoring list. And then there was Quartz, Andrea, Justin and Gabble as class as finishers. Then no finishers for Zinedine, Spicer, Joe Murphy, Kobe and the other two. I ran out of I ran out of screen. That. But yeah, I got no words for this finale.
No, it was a finale, and I think that's the best way to describe it. It was a race that happened. Stewards might have fun, although because again there's not a lot to play for, they might get off light. We'll see. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how much what the Stewards have to do. If they're unlucky, they've got a lot coming their way.
Definitely, and
It's kicked off in chat as well.
Reading the chat, and wow,
it's really kicked off.
Expletives left, right, centre, in your face. Wherever you want the expletives, it's there. Or wherever you don't want the expletives, it's there.
Strong expletives as well. Strong one.
Wow, jeez, Louise. Well, what a season. Let's talk about the season as a whole. And obviously, tonight isn't about. Tonight shouldn't be a showcase of what the season has been, because overall, while there has been controversial moments and moments like that, it's stuff that happens in F1. This doesn't usually happen in console tier 1. As a whole, the season's been good.
Yeah, as a whole, it's been a good season. It's, and again, as I mentioned, tonight is certainly. I mean, sure, it's league racing. It can get out of hand. But in terms of when it gets out of hand, like you could argue it has tonight, it's certainly more of the exception rather than the rule. Sure, it's chaotic. I mean, look at last week. But, that's when they kept it on the, on the right side of the limit. All the time. When it comes to racecraft and whatnot, it is, a lot of the time on the limit, and it has to be on the limit because otherwise, you can just end up being too passive and. You allow yourself to get just get beaten up. So it's kind of you're left in a position where you are your hand is kind of forced in how you have to race to make sure you don't get beaten up or anything like that. But yeah, no, it's definitely been a great season to watch. It's been a great season to cover. We've had some fantastic moments throughout the season, some fantastic drives. And yeah, I'm thoroughly looking forward to next season.
Yeah, next season shortly upon us, and I'm sure all the information for that will be out on the socials and in the Discord very, very shortly. Please bear with the guys that do all the behind the scenes stuff. We do appreciate them very much so. But I suppose that is all we've got time for. I don't think we want to have any podium interviews tonight after all that.
I think tonight is not the night. It's gone out of hand. I think that's the way to describe it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. But no, thank you, Leopard, for stepping in for this season. And, you came at, I think, round 3 or 4, maybe. It's been absolutely epic since then. Really appreciate you sticking in, and hopefully,
no worries.
Well, I say hopefully, from our sources, we are going to be back for season 20, and that I'm sure
allegedly. There is rumours.
We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see for certain.
Somehow they've decided to keep us. I don't know why, but they've decided to.
Especially on tonight's performance.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Maybe they were a Kickstarter as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
But yeah, no, thank you so much, and thank you for everyone who's tuned in and watched, and for everyone that has been a part of World Online Racing. It has been great. We've had some great champions this season, but our champion is Ren Thomason. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.